Hi, this is Stephen Brower from Merritt Valley Community College. This is for CSIT 256, Computer Architecture and Assembly Language. And this is meant to be the overview for week 8. From a content point of view, what we'll be looking at the Stallings book is RISC, which was first actually introduced in chapter 14, but we'll take a more expanded look at sort of what is done in terms of how RISC computers are architected and how they differ from what we have been using up to this point. The assembly portion that we'll be taking a look at will be dealing with the Windows API. What the author shields us from, so when we use things like right string, as ugly as that may seem, the author shielding us from the call to the operating system to display the string onto the console. And so what we'll see in chapter 11 is what has to be done with Windows API programming, the concept of handles and going through handles for everything. We'll handle it. Sorry. Okay, so that's it from a content point of view. From an assignment point of view, the assembly lab for the week is the lab on floating point that was based on Irvine chapter 12 from the prior week. And if you look at this Friday and say there's nothing there, I'm like, oh, good, there's nothing there. It's what's coming up ahead. And that one thing is the assembly project. Now, the assembly project will be posted probably closer to 7:31. As of the recording of this video, I haven't figured out exactly when it will be, but around 7:31, information on the assembly project would be posted. And if we were in the classroom, it would be, if we're finishing up this lab here tonight, then we would have what would be lab time here and lab time here to work on the assembly project. Well, the other thing we have coming up in week 9 is the final exam. So around 8/3 is when the final exam info sheet will be loaded. That will have the format and the contents of the final exam, and that would be for the final week. Closer to this time, I'll have estimates for when the final, most likely around August 10th is when the final will open. Now that's looking ahead from chapter 8, but it helps to look ahead. So that is the overview for week. Did I say chapter? That's the overview for week 8.